Welcome to 100 Yards Football this morning. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. Today's video is week 2, recapping the college football season. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. I surely appreciate it here at 100 Yards Football. What I'm going to do in the next few weeks, I'm going to have a recap of the college football every week, and then I'm going to have the NFL recap. It's something that I thought about over the weekend. And when you look at the great game of college football, you look at all the great players and you look at the teams that are surprising people, actually shocking people on the week in and week out level, that just came to me. So with my players, I'm going to elect 5 players across the country that I think made my list. And I'm going to call those players Freakazoids. Remember that band Midnight Star in the mid-'80s? They had a song called Freakazoids. Please report to the dance floor. Well, my Freakazoids are going to report to the football field, and they're going to put up numbers. So it's going to be my first list this week, the Freakazoids of college football week 2. And then I'm going to have my Iron Man teams of the week. Remember Ozzy Osbourne back in the 1970s when he was with Black Sabbath? He had that song, Iron Man. Look at me. I can't see. I'm an Iron Man. So I'm going to start today here with my college football players of the week, the Freakazoids. So let's go down to the University of Illinois. My first Freakazoid coming up is Devin Witherspoon, defensive back out of the state of Florida. Illinois defeated Virginia 24-3. And you know what Mr. Witherspoon did? 7 tackles on the evening, 3 pass breakups. And they held a Virginia team to 3 points. They had potentially a first-round NFL draft-type quarterback in Brendan Armstrong. Held him in check. Devin Witherspoon is my first Freakazoid of the week. The number 2 Freakazoid of the week is Mr. Drew Sanders. That's right, baby. Pig Suey. Ooh, Pig Suey. Drew Sanders out of the state of Texas was over there at Alabama. He saw the writing on the wall. He wanted to be a star. A shining star. He wasn't going to get that under Nick Saban. But what he did, Sam Pittman convinced him to come back and play on the hill down in Fayetteville, where I went to school for 4 years. And you know what Mr. Drew Sanders did against South Carolina? He was by far the best player on the field. Looking like Brian Bosworth, too. 11 tackles on the day, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a break-up pass at the outside linebacker position. Drew Sanders is the number 2 Freakazoid of the week. And number 3, boy, you know I'm from the state of Tennessee, the 901, Memphis, Tennessee. Diehard University of Tennessee football fan. The days I've been following Volunteers ever since I was 10 years old. Now, let me back up, 8 years old. The 6-18, they had Steve Kiner, Jack Hacksaw Reynolds, Jackie Walker, Lester McClain, Bobby Scott, Phil Fulmer, baby. Then the 70s, Condridge Holloway out of Huntsville, Alabama. Then that 1998 National Championship team, T. Martin, Coasted Coleman, Peerless Price. But you know what? How the Vols turned the corner? Big game last Saturday against Pitt. And a young man by the name of Hendon Hooker should be mentioning a little bit about the Heisman. 325 yards, 2 touchdowns at Tennessee, Big Pitt, 30-27. He's changing the Lord at the quarterback position in Tennessee. What I'm seeing with Hendon Hooker, I'm seeing the reincarnation of Jimmy Streeter. I'm seeing the reincarnation of Tony Robertson in 85, baby. Then at number 4, the Freakazoid of number 4. California, the city of LA, Hollywood, stars are born. He transferred from Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley, Trinity, OJ, Anthony Davis, Lynn Swan, Sam the Bam Cunningham, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart. It's a new star in town in Hollywood, LA. His name is not John Wayne. Caleb Williams against Stanford, 20 of 27, 341 yards, 4 touchdowns, 13 of 15 in the first quarter. Caleb Williams, we talking about all these great players at the quarterback position, right? So far, Stetson Bennett at Georgia. No disrespect to him. He's doing his thing. Georgia's #1 in the country. We're talking about C.J. Stroud over there at Ohio State. We're talking about, as I just mentioned, Hendon Hooker at Tennessee. We're talking about Bryce Young over at Alabama. But you know what? Everybody said that USC was 1 year away from really Lincoln Riley restoring their program. I don't know. The Trojans are making a statement with Caleb Williams. So he coming in my list as #4, Freakazoid LA. And #5, Penn State, James Franklin. I think you have found the shining star. Franco Harris, Curtis Enos, Ladell Mitchell, Lenny Moore. His name is Nicholas Singleton, the second coming of Saquon Barkley. Boy, did that man have a game last week against Miami, Ohio. The University of Ohio. 10 rushes last week, 169 yards. But what stuck out of my mind about Nicholas Singleton, and he's going down on the Plains this Saturday night against War Eagle and Auburn. Brian Harsin, you better be aware. The young man had 3 runs over 40 yards. 3 runs over 40 yards. That means explosiveness. Penn State is coming. The Lions are coming to hunt on the plane. They're looking for that War Eagle. So my 5 Freakazoid players of the week. Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois, Bobby Mitchell. Drew Sanders, linebacker out of the University of Arkansas, the second coming of Billy Ray Smith. #3, Hendon Hooker, University of Tennessee. #4, Caleb Williams, USC. And #5, Nicholas Singleton, Penn State. Now for my teams of the week, my Iron Man teams of the week. Boy, did we have a great college football last weekend. The first team that made my Iron Man team of the week. Charles Huff, you're now on the level. You on Broadway. Marshall, Neon Lights, Stephen Gilmore, his little brother, Michael Abraham, Devin Miller, Owen Porter. We didn't know y'all names before you played Notre Dame last week, but we know you now. We know Mr. Huff now. We ain't talking about Marshall and Randy Moss and Chad Pillars and Brown Leckwich. We're talking about the herd down there in Huntington, West Virginia. They come in as my #1 team. They shocked the world. They went up to touchdown Jesus and beat Notre Dame. The #2 team, Iron Man team of the week. Boy. It must be something in the water in Boone, North Carolina, baby. Appalachian State should have really beat North Carolina last week on Deshaun Clark. But think about this. They went down to College Station, took on the 12th man, and they dominated. 305 yards of total offense. Held Texas A&M to 186 yards of offense. They held the ball 41 minutes. Texas A&M only had it for 18 minutes. Sean Clark, you are the man. Boone, North Carolina is now must see because College Game Day is going to Boone. And think about this. The young man is under center. Chase Bryce. He's out of the Metro Atlanta area. Grayson High School. Boy. The Sun Belt is balling. Marshall and Appalachian State, they come in as my Iron Man teams of the week, 1 and 2. Now the #3 team, my Iron Man team of the week. Nebraska just fired Scott Frost. So they on the coaching search right now. This ain't Bob Stoops. It's his baby brother. Everybody's taking a look at his baby brother. John Calipari, stop hating. Mark Stoops just took a football school, not a football school, a basketball school, and he's built that thing in Kentucky. He beat Florida last week to become the winningest coach in Kentucky football history. But he's built it his way. Run the football, play hard-nosed, and play defense. Last week in the Swamp, Kentucky defense took over the second half, and they shut down Anthony Richardson, who was a darling starter week before against Utah. They picked him off 2 times. Kenran Smith took an interception, pick 6 back to the house for 65 yards. And think about all those other Kentucky defensive players, just household names now. J.J. Weaver, the Andre Square, that Kentucky defense. Woo-wee! Boy, did they shut down Anthony Richardson last week. Even though NFL first-round talent quarterback Will Levis didn't play well, that is a real strong Kentucky football team. Mark Stoops. I just hope that Kentucky break the bank and paying you and you don't really get beside yourself because you're doing a good job. The word is stay where you at, where you building. Don't jump the fence too quick and go to Nebraska. Man, you got a thing going on. You built a football program in the greatest conference in all of college football. Mark Stoops, the man. John Calipari, see, you haven't gotten to the Final Four in years. Stop hating on Mark Stoops. The Kentucky Wildcats are my 3-team. We ain't talking about Adolph Ruff either, baby. It's Mark Stoops time. Youngstown, Ohio in the house. They're my number 4 team. Saw this game on Saturday night. Stayed up. I had picked the Baylor Bears to beat BYU. But see, when you look at BYU, defeated Baylor 26-20 in overtime. You always think about BYU, the quarterback position. Ty Detmer, Robbie Bosco, Mark Wilson, Virgil Carter, Jim McMahon, Steve Young. Well, you know what? BYU made a statement because they beat a real good Baylor team, coached by a real good coach in Dave Aranda. And you know what? They won that game in overtime. I came away impressed. But the player I came away impressed the most is that 24-year-old. He made plays in overtime and during the game. He go by the name of Jan Hall. He's the quarterback. BYU comes in as my number 4 team, and they are dangerous. The Cougars are dangerous. And this ain't a Cougar team back in the 80s with Jim McMahon and Steve Young. This is a balanced football team up there in the mountains of Utah. They come in at number 4. And then my number 5 team. Boy. You know I got to go home to my team back down on the hill, the University of Arkansas, Southwest Conference, Sam Pittman. A thing came out this past weekend where the gentleman said that he would love to have the Arkansas job. His name is John Gruden. And I didn't understand that. He was trying to take the shine off Sam Pittman. But that's all right, though. Sam Pittman is not going nowhere. At least he one goes to Nebraska. But I tell you what, last week against South Carolina, he's got a quarterback out of the state of Mississippi by the name of KJ Jefferson. Had 229 total yards offense. But that running game at Arkansas, see, that's what took the cake. 295 yards against South Carolina. Raheem Sanders, nicknamed the Rocket, had 156 yards. But see, Sam Pittman is an offensive line coach. So Ricky Stroberg, Brady Landon, and Dalton Wagner playing at an NFL level. Then Trey Knox and Jason Hazelwood didn't get love at Oklahoma, but he's doing his thing now at Arkansas. See, when you're talking about a team that's dangerous, see, that SEC West look like it can be taken. Don't look like Alabama's that strong. And Sam Pittman, I love you. You have restored respectability. You have restored respectability throughout the state. Little Rock, Conway, El Dorado, Camden, Magnolia, help me Jesus, Fort Smith, Solomon Springs, Raise Up, Pig Suey. They come in at number 5, my alma mater. This ain't the Lou Holtz days. This is a dangerous Arkansas team. And I'm going to throw a shot. See, when Sam Pittman took the job, I was listening to a talk show over there in Clemson, South Carolina. And you know who you are. You made mockery of Sam Pittman when he was at his news conferences showing a little energy. But you ain't talking now. You ain't talking now. I would love to see Clemson play Arkansas now. A lot of people don't want to play that red and white, that hog. They don't want to play that hog. They don't want to play that hog. You better stand up and recognize it's Pig Suey. Billy Ray Smith, Gary Anderson, Jerry Jones, that's right, Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer. My 5 teams, my Iron Man teams of the week. Number 1, Marshall, Charles Huff. You looking good, baby. Appalachian State, Sean Clark, you looking good, baby. Mark Stoops in Kentucky, you looking good, baby. BYU, Jaron Hall, do your thing at the quarterback position, baby. And number 5, Pig Sewell, the University of Arkansas. Those are my Iron Man teams of the week. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. College football is on the horizon. Thank you. God bless. And to my producer, Mr. Logan Landis, y'all have a beautiful, beautiful day. Ooh, Pig Sewell, Razorbacks.